Hi, thanks for spending the time today. We're at the Business Innovation Conference in Chicago at the Illinois Institute of Technology. So, Jose, can you start by providing a brief background of yourself?
Yes, hi. My name is Jose Briones. I'm a partner in a couple of startups, software startups, and one of them deals with software for supply chain management, which is what probably we're going to be talking about today.
Can you talk about process flow, how it relates to supply chain, and innovative ways to use software to work with processes in different ways in the supply chain?
Yes, Dustin, what we've been looking at is specifically the differences in workflow management. We found that there are two types of workflow. What I like to call rigid workflow, where all steps are predefined and you must take and follow each and every step in your business process. But you also have what I call flexible workflow. And this is a new area of investigation and discussion. Very few products deal with this. What does it mean? What it means is that in a business process, the path that the document, product, order follows may be different every time. There is a certain path forward. It moves forward, but moves through different paths. Very few products out there in the marketplace can handle flexible workflow these days in a manner that will be of value to people in the supply chain industry.
Can you give an example of what would be the more traditional way of doing process mapping or flow, and then the new way to fit our current way of working?
Yes, the product we're working on, we're specifically designing at first to handle sales, production, and purchase order for small and medium-sized companies. Most of the products out there consider a sales order as one entity in which it follows the progress of an order, the entire order, in a sequence of steps. What our product does, instead of following the order as a unit, each individual item on the order can be followed in different paths. And how does this work in practice? Let's say you own a furniture store. Lady comes in, wants to buy 3 pieces of furniture, perhaps a chair, a table, and that lamp. That's all well and good. However, turns out that the chair is coming from Mexico, the table is coming from a supplier in North Dakota, and the lamp is custom made by a supplier across the city. So the lady in 2 weeks calls and she wants to know the status of her order. And here you are scrambling, trying to call all your suppliers, see where is the paperwork, where is every single thing. What do you tell her? The solution is programs and software that can handle tracking the workflow of individual items through different paths, no matter where and what they may be, but at the same time combine them into an order at any single point that you make a request. So you know the status of every single item, no matter where they are. So the typical product that's used for this either limits the number of paths that you can take, or cannot handle different items and track different items separately.
And do you have any recommendations if someone wants to get started on how would you even begin to change your mindset into process flow to really get it, or is it intuitive and people just know that this is what I really need?
Well, again, the customer or the company that has these needs, they know it. In other words, you have to have a complex supply chain process. If you have a very simple supply chain process where you receive a very limited number of products from a very limited number of suppliers that follow very predetermined paths, you do not need flexible workflow. A fixed workflow product will work for you. With the more suppliers you have, the more products you have, and the larger the number of combinations that products and suppliers can be, or larger number of combinations that can exist between products and suppliers that follow different paths, then you need flexible workflow products.
How would you explain to a supply chain manager whether this would benefit them?
Well, I would, in essence, the way we are working right now, we work with the company to do a very simple map of their process to try to determine the level of complexity, determine if they are an appropriate and adequate candidate for a flexible workflow product. So The idea is again to identify their needs and determine if a simple fixed workflow product would work for them, or a flexible workflow product is what they need.
Where can people go to learn more about the software?
Well, at this point, our product's in beta, so it's not yet commercial. Right now, we're approaching companies that want to help us take the product to full commercialization. If someone is interested, perhaps you can supply with this video my contact information, and we'll be glad to talk to you.
Thank you.